Today on our 2013 Jeep Grand Cherokee, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Roadmaster 7-wire to 6-wire Flexo-Coil kit, part number RM-146-7. So here's what our plug is going to look like on the front of our Jeep. We mounted ours right below our license plate. That way we have our electrical connector easily accessible when we hook up to our motorhome. Our kit is going to come with a 7 to 6-way cord, so we can plug the 7-way into our RV and then the 6-way into the front of our Jeep. Now it is going to be a coiled cord, so it's going to keep it nice and contracted when it's not plugged in, but it is going to expand up to 8 feet. That way we can reach from the front of our Jeep to our motorhome and not worry about it dragging the ground. The internal part of our plugs are both going to be silicone injected, so they're going to stand up to the elements and the weather and make sure we don't get any corrosion buildup on the terminals inside. And the outer part of the cord is going to be resistant against water, as well as any other salt or road grimes that may be on the road. Now the center pin on our 6-way cord is going to be 12-volt power. There are 2 different industry standards, so keep that in mind whenever you're wiring up the plug. So whether you're looking to upgrade the existing plug that's on the front of your Jeep or complete the wiring for it, our Flexo kit is going to be a great option because it's not only going to give us the plug, but it's going to give us the mounting bracket and the cord to go in between our motorhome and our Jeep. So now that we've seen what everything looks like and gone over some of the features, let's show you how to wire it up. To begin our installation, we're going to be replacing the 4-pin connector that's on the front of our vehicle with the 6-pin. Now you can see we have plenty of excess wire, so we're going to make sure we have enough, but we're going to trim all 4 wires back. It's a good idea to give yourself a little bit of extra outside of where it's going to mount. Makes it a little bit easier when you're wiring everything up. And then we're going to want to separate each one of our 4-pole wires. So we can just grab them, kind of pull it apart a little bit. And we'll strip back each end of the 4 wires. We're going to grab our new plug. We'll remove the dust cover off the back. And we're going to slide all the wires through our dust cover. We just want to make sure they go all the way through. We'll just push this aside out of the way for right now. Now if we look at the back of our plug, all of our terminals are going to be labeled. So if we start at the very top and go counterclockwise, the very top one's going to have a TM. That's going to be for trailer marker, or that's going to be your taillight signal. The next one is going to be GD for ground, which will be your white wire. The bottom corner here will be LT for left turn, which is going to be our yellow wire. And then over here we'll have RT for right turn, which is going to be our green wire. Now we are going to have 2 more terminals, but in our application we're not using them. But the center pin typically is going to be your 12-volt power, and then the one labeled S is going to be for your brakes. So we're going to grab a small Phillips screwdriver and we'll loosen up the set screw. Now you don't want to take it all the way out because these are very small and very easy to lose. But since we're starting on the top, which is our trailer marker terminal, we'll grab our brown wire and we're going to put the copper part of the wire into the terminal. Now I always like to leave just a little bit exposed at the top. That way the insulation won't go inside and cause connection issues. And then we'll tighten it up, make sure it's a good connection, and then we're just going to repeat that for all the remaining wires we have. Now it's always a good idea to put a little bit of dielectric grease on your electrical connectors, and if you need some you can pick some up here on our website using part number 11755. I just like to fill up this entire area with grease. It'll help keep out the moisture and prevent corrosion from building up. Then we can take our dust cover and slide it back in place. And if you want, you can backfill the dust cover with more dielectric grease. And then to make sure everything seals up, I'm just going to wrap the entire connector with some electrical tape, coming pretty far back on the wires. One, to help protect them, but also to keep the color down so we don't have those bright colored wires in the front of our Jeep. When it comes to mounting your socket up, Our kit is going to come with a bracket, and you can find a convenient location to where you can mount it up. However, ours came with our base plate, so we're not going to be using this one. We'll simply line up our electrical connector with the mounting holes. Then we can take the provided hardware and get everything in place. We'll take our Phillips screw, we'll pass it through our socket and the bracket, and then we'll reach to the back side and put the nut in place. And now that we have one started, we'll get the other one in place, and then we can tighten everything up. So now I'm going to use a 3/8 wrench to hold the nut on the back side while I tighten up the screw. Now, depending on where you mount this, you may have a little bit of trouble, so just make sure you have enough room to either hold the screw or the nut so you can get your plug nice and secure. So to test the socket and our cord, we have it hooked up to our tester. If I turn it on, we can see that my tail lights are functioning, as well as the left turn signal, my brake lights, and my right turn signal. All we have left to do now is hook up to our motorhome and hit the road. That'll finish up your look at the Roadmaster 7-wire to 6-wire Flexo-Coil kit, part number RM-146-7 on our 2013 Jeep Grand Cherokee.